In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my philosophy for portion sizes. This is heavily requested, and I'm also going to have a home chef cook with me. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. Today's video is sponsored by Home Chef. I've worked with them in the past, and I love this company, and I appreciate them sponsoring today's video. I'm going to show you a cook with me later on in the video where I cook 4 of their dishes, and they're so good. But before I do that, I wanted to talk about portion sizes with you because this has been a very heavily requested topic from many people over many years, and I've discussed it briefly on the channel, but I'd like to delve more into it today. So I'm going to show some of the meals that I made with Home Chef and talk to you about the portion sizes that I personally eat. And this will hold true for any meal that I eat. But it's just going to be helpful to show you the meals that I made and what I ate and what was left over. So we're going to do that in today's video. But before we talk about portion sizes, if you don't know what Home Chef is, it's a meal kit delivery system that arrives to your home. They sponsored a video of mine about a month and a half ago, and I love them so much. And when I got the first box, Ben wasn't here, he was out of the country, and I thought he's got to try this because I felt like he would love it. So anyway, we got it again and Ben tried it, and we love it so much that we've become customers. So we're just customers of Home Chef now, and we order it every week. And this is my menu. It's really filling up of all the different meals that I've made with Home Chef. So the funny thing is that Ben is actually even more obsessed with it than I am. He loves it so much, and he has been cooking the meals. So it arrives on a Thursday and he cooks all of them pretty much. He loves Home Chef. I mean, I need to get him, I'll do another video where he talks about it. But Ben really likes it because he loves cooking, but it's almost like you have a sous chef with Home Chef because it's all there for you. You know, he doesn't have to gather everything or go shopping, and he really finds pleasure in the process of cooking it and then presenting a meal. And I love it because he's cooking for me, so I finally get a taste of what he's had for his whole life with me, his married life, because it's so nice to be cooked for. So we're just really happy with it. So we've become customers. I know a lot of you are customers as well. Anyway, so that's what it is. But let's talk about portion sizes. For this one, I made chicken paillard, I made spicy shrimp tacos, and barbecue chicken pizzas. They were so good. And steak moutarde. So I'm just going to show you here an example of what I eat. So with the chicken paillard, for example, and I'm going to show you how I make all of this after I discuss the portion sizes. This is just typical for what I would eat. Sometimes I wouldn't eat all of the meat, but in this case, the dish was so good that I ate my whole plate. There was a lot of broccoli left over. And so what we ended up doing with that meal was we gave the broccoli to the kids, and then they ended up having a different meat. But Ben and I really enjoyed this, and I ate the whole thing. So that's something I'll do. If it's just meat and vegetables, I'll definitely eat all of the vegetables, and if it's a thin slice of meat like that, I will eat the whole thing. Moving to the spicy shrimp tacos, this made a lot of spicy shrimp tacos, and I just had 2 of them, and that was well enough. Ben could have had more, but we decided to share these with the girls because they love tacos. So that's what we did there, but I just basically had 2 tacos and then I was full. I think the way it was made was that you were meant to have 3 each, but that would have just been too much for me. Okay, moving on to the barbecue chicken ranch pizzas. These were so good. They were made on a flatbread, and they were actually very large. So I knew when I was making this, there was just no way I was going to eat the entire thing for dinner. I ended up eating about a half of it, and it was just very filling to me. And then I saved the other half and I ate it for lunch the next day. So let's pause here and I'll talk about that. I don't do this because I'm, depriving myself or I'm on a diet or anything. I just try to be very present and mindful when I'm eating. And so when I do that, I just find that I'm full. If I'm preoccupied, let's say I'm eating my dinner and I'm also surfing the internet, I'm not going to be aware of when I'm full. I just ate half and I saved the rest for lunch the next day. So that's something I did there. And then if you go to the steak moutarde, whenever I have a big piece of meat like this, I never eat the whole thing. So I knew I wasn't going to eat all the steak either. So I ended up eating only about 1/4 of the steak and then a lot of the sweet potato fries. And that it just really filled me up. So people are always asking me when I'm doing these cooking videos about the portion sizes. In the last Home Chef video I did, I just showed my plate, and I tend to put smaller portions on my plate, and some people thought, oh, they don't give very much food, but that's just what I chose for my own plate. You know, there's actually lots of leftover vegetables, especially each time you cook one of these meals. In the spicy shrimp tacos, they gave a whole head of the butter lettuce, and there was enough to make 2 salads afterwards, for example. So there's no rule or anything. You know, I don't say, oh, I have like a fistful size of vegetables, or, you know, I know people do stuff like that, but for me, I just plate a smaller portion. I think we've grown accustomed to having giant portions. There's an article from the Daily Mail that I just saw about the evolution of the Sunday roast and how big it's gotten over the decades. And I just think, you know, our plates have gotten bigger. I've done a video on that, which I can link below as well. Antique plates are smaller. Our modern plates are huge. We tend to fill our plates. So for those of you who are looking for portion control advice, I would just say, you know, plate less than you think you're going to want. Be very present and mindful and enjoy your dinner, and eat it slowly, and chances are you'll be full. And also, I make these Home Chef meals stretch into the next day too, because a lot of the times I don't eat the whole meal. So that's it. I hope that that's helpful to you. If you have any questions about it, please leave it in the comment section below. And now let's do a nice relaxing cook with me, and I'm gonna show you how we made some of these gourmet meals. One of the things I love about this is that I'm learning to cook as well. I'm learning new techniques, and some of these gourmet meals like chicken paillard and steak moutarde, it's just really fun. So without further ado, let's get to the cooking.
We're going to start off with the chicken paillard. This dish was really fresh and delicious. So here is what it's supposed to look like, and the recipe card on the back. So we start off by pounding the chicken breasts and making them a bit flatter, and then I put some salt and pepper on them. Then I'm going to prepare all of the vegetables, so I'm just peeling and chopping the shallot. I really love shallot. I want to use it more in my cooking. And then I'm doing the same with the garlic here. And I'm just having the cherry tomatoes. Zesting the lemon. And then I'm just going to cut it in half and juice all of it. Now I'm just going to chop up the parsley. And I'm preparing the broccoli. So I'm just going to drizzle it with some olive oil, put some salt and pepper on it, and the shallots. And I roast this in the oven, I think for about 20 minutes. Then I just add oil to my pan, and I am putting the flattened chicken, seasoned side down, and I'm just seasoning the top again. And a cool trick is that you only sear one side and then you take it off. The rest will cook later. So I'm just adding in some cherry tomatoes, the lemon juice, and the garlic right now, and so I'm putting the other side back down for this to cook. Now I'm just going to bring the broccoli out of the oven and plate my dish. So you just place the tomatoes on top, and you just put some lemon zest and some Parmesan cheese, the broccoli and shallots, and then you sprinkle parsley on top, and this dish was so refreshing. I love using lemon juice in meat dishes. It was absolutely delicious. Okay, the spicy shrimp tacos. We love tacos in this family, any kind of tacos, and these were no exception. So I'm just having a poblano pepper here and just taking out the seeds and chopping it up. And then I'm going to warm up the tortillas and just keep them in foil. Then I cook the shrimp on one side. This is the same technique as the chicken, so only on one side, and then I'm going to take them off and they will finish cooking in a later step. And that's great because I usually overcook my shrimp, so that's a good tip for you. Then I'm just going to put in some corn and the poblano peppers and just mix that all together, and then the shrimp will finish cooking in this step. And now I'm just going to assemble the tacos with the tortilla, some butter, lettuce, and then the shrimp and vegetable mixture. And if you're going low carb, you could just forego the tortilla. They had a delicious creamy sauce to put on top, and it was so good. It was a little bit spicy. It was delicious. The girls really like this as well. And of course, Mr. Connoisseur loves tacos, so this got his seal of approval. Yep, the Mr. Connoisseur seal of approval. Okay, barbecue chicken ranch pizzas. Ben and I had this for a date night dinner. The kids were out of the house, and this was so fun to make and really good to eat. So here is the recipe card. So I baked the chicken in the oven, and while I did that, I peeled and chopped, or sliced, I guess, this red onion, and we are going to caramelize the onion. I love caramelized onions, so good. Okay, the baked chicken cooked for about 20 minutes, and now I'm just slicing it up. And on the flatbread, I'm putting some barbecue sauce, along with the baked chicken. And I'm topping it with the caramelized onions, some cheese. This is so good, some salt and pepper. And then you just bake it until it's browns like this, and then I drizzle the ranch dressing on top. I love this. This reminds me of the one from CPK. So good. And then the arugula on top. Again, these were really large portions. Delicious. And lastly, we're going to be making the steak moutarde. I'm actually really bad at making steak, but that's why I like doing this, because it tells you exactly what to do, and I'm learning some new techniques with this, and Ben loves the steak. So I'm preparing the sweet potato fries here. We have some giant sweet potatoes here, so I'm just chopping them into large fries. And I'm chopping up the parsley and the garlic. Then I prepare the steaks with some salt and pepper. And you're going to just cook the sweet potato. This is going to help it cook faster in the oven. And I sprinkle some of the garlic and parsley on top. Salt and pepper. These were really good. So I saute those for a bit, and then they go into the oven on a baking tray. And now I'm just going to sear the steak on one side, you guessed it, and then I flip it over onto a prepared baking pan, and I'm going to put this in the oven and finish it off there. But first you put the mustard on top, hence the steak moutarde. This is a French dish, and you top it with parsley. Really good. And now I'm making the creamy sauce. I love making these simple sauces. So this is just heavy cream in the steak juices. And I put 2 pats of butter in, some salt and pepper, and then the rest of the grainy mustard. And this makes a really great sauce. This is a classic French dish. I love this. The sweet potato fries are a bit of a twist. So this was the steak, and I ate about a quarter of the steak. I can never eat that much steak, but it was so good, and Ben really loved this as well. The sauce just adds a nice creamy texture. And here I'm just plating up Ben's portion. So here are 4 dishes: chicken paillard, spicy Southwest shrimp tacos, barbecue chicken ranch pizza, and steak moutarde.
I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time on The Daily Connoisseur. Bye!